Welcome to TheBotDog Reviews, movie reviews and more, the channel for all movie lovers. In 1992, Disney took audiences on a magic carpet ride with the release of Aladdin. Based on the classic tale from 1001 Nights, this animated film tells the story of a young street rat named Aladdin who falls in love with Princess Jasmine. Spoiler alert! Before we continue, we would like to make a spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the movie yet and don't want to have your viewing experience spoiled, we suggest that you watch the movie before continuing with this video. Now, if you have already watched the movie or don't mind spoilers, let's begin. In the movie Aladdin, there's a funny man called the Street Peddler, played by Robin Williams. He takes us on a tour of the city of Agrabah and tries to sell us many things. But then he shows us an old oil lamp and tells us a story about how it changed a young man's life. This young man was special, but people didn't know it because he seemed like a regular guy. Just like the lamp, which was a diamond in the rough. He then tells a story that begins with the Sultan's Grand Vizier, Jafar, having a secret meeting with a thief named Qasim. They combine two halves of a golden scarab beetle to make it come to life and fly away, leading them to the Cave of Wonders, which is a giant sand tiger. Jafar and Aladdin wants a lamp from the Cave of Wonders and orders the thief Qasim to get it. But when Qasim tries to enter the cave, a voice says only a worthy person can enter the diamond in the rough. Qasim tries anyway and gets killed. Jafar realizes he needs to find this worthy person to enter the cave. Then the film cuts to a young boy named Aladdin and his pet monkey, Abu, as they try to steal a loaf of bread. They outsmart the guards and find some hungry kids to give the bread to. Later, a prince comes through the streets and Aladdin gets in trouble for a small mistake. The prince calls him a worthless street rat. Aladdin and Abu go home and Aladdin promises that things will get better someday. In Aladdin, the prince is angry because Princess Jasmine has rejected him and her tiger, Raja, tore his pants. The Sultan talks to Jasmine and she tells him she's tired of being locked up. The Sultan asks his advisor, Jafar, for help and Jafar agrees if he gets the Sultan's blue diamond ring. Jafar hypnotizes the Sultan to get the ring and goes to his own room. Jasmine escapes from the palace and walks around the city. She gives an apple to a hungry boy and gets in trouble with the merchant who sold it. Aladdin saves her by tricking the merchant and takes her away from the market. Jafar used the Sultan's blue diamond ring to consult the sands of time, which showed him that Aladdin is the one he needs to enter the Cave of Wonders. Aladdin and Jasmine are at Aladdin's home when suddenly, the city guards attack and capture Aladdin. Jasmine reveals herself and demands his release, but the head of the guards, Rasul, says they're acting under orders from Jafar. Despite Jasmine's protest, Aladdin is taken away. Jasmine goes back to the palace and confronts Jafar about Aladdin's capture. Jafar lies and says Aladdin kidnapped her, but Jasmine reveals that she escaped on her own. Jafar then lies again and says that Aladdin was already executed, making Jasmine very upset. Aladdin is locked up in the royal dungeons, but Abu helps him escape. During their escape, an older prisoner approaches Aladdin, asking for his help to find the Cave of Wonders. However, this prisoner is really Jafar in disguise. He helps Aladdin escape, but his true intentions are unclear. Aladdin, Abu and the old prisoner reach the Cave of Wonders. The cave lets Aladdin enter, but warns him not to touch anything except the lamp. They explore the cave and find a magical flying carpet that leads them to the lamp. Abu breaks the rule and takes a ruby, causing the cave to start collapsing. They use the carpet to escape, but the old prisoner reveals himself to be Jafar and tries to take the lamp. Abu saves Aladdin by biting Jafar's arm, but they fall back into the collapsing cave as the entrance is closed by the tiger's head. Jafar tries to grab the lamp, but it's not there. Abu took it before they fell into the cave. Aladdin discovers an inscription on the lamp and rubs it, which summons a blue genie. The genie explains that Aladdin has 3 wishes, but there are 3 things he can't do: kill anyone, make someone fall in love, and bring someone back from the dead. Aladdin and the genie escape the cave without using a wish by tricking the genie. They land in an oasis and Aladdin starts thinking about his wishes. He asks the genie what he would wish for and the genie reveals that he wants to be free from the lamp. Aladdin promises to use his last wish to free the genie. Aladdin wants to be with Jasmine, but he can't make her fall in love with him. So he decides to use his first wish to become a prince since Jasmine is a princess. He asks the genie to make him fabulously rich and give Abu the form of a large elephant so he can ride him. Meanwhile, in Agrabah, Jafar is still upset that he didn't get the lamp. He wants to find a way to become powerful and attempts to convince the Sultan to make him marry Jasmine to save the royal family's reputation. The Sultan is not sure about it, so Jafar tries to hypnotize him, but they are interrupted by loud music coming from outside. A big and noisy parade enters the kingdom announcing the arrival of Prince Ali Ababwa, who is actually Aladdin. Aladdin's entourage is very impressive, with exotic animals, servants, and Aladdin himself riding an elephant. They go to the palace to meet the Sultan and Aladdin is taken to see Jasmine, who is not impressed by his showy ways. Aladdin tries to impress her with his wealth and power, but Jasmine is not interested. When Aladdin takes her on a magic carpet ride, he drops his act and shows his true self, which eventually wins her over. Aladdin is captured by palace guards under Jafar's orders and thrown into a lake. He rubs the lamp and genie appears, convincing him to use his second wish to save his life. Aladdin returns to the palace to find that Jafar is using his staff to hypnotize the Sultan into forcing Jasmine to marry him. Aladdin smashes the staff, revealing Jafar's treachery. Jafar disappears but spots the lamp hidden in Aladdin's hat. The Sultan sees that Jasmine has accepted Aladdin and wants to marry him. Aladdin is feeling troubled because he's not really a prince and has been lying to Jasmine. Genie appears and suggests that Aladdin should use his last wish to free him. Aladdin is hesitant and explains to Genie that he can't free him because he wouldn't be the prince that he is without him. Aladdin is convinced that he would lose Jasmine if he's proven not to be a prince. However, Genie feels angry and betrayed by Aladdin's decision and retreats back into the lamp. Jafar goes back to his hidden lair under the palace and discovers that Prince Ali is actually Aladdin. He sends his pet parrot, Iago, to steal the magic lamp that Aladdin has. Jafar summons the genie, who is then forced to obey Jafar's wishes. Jafar uses his first wish to become the most powerful sorcerer in the world and exposes Aladdin as a poor street boy. Jafar launches Aladdin out of the palace using a rocket, and he lands in a snowy, cold mountain region. Jafar then uses his second wish to become the Sultan and locks up the Sultan and Princess Jasmine until she agrees to marry him. Aladdin sneaks back into the palace to find the genie, who tells him he can't help him as Jafar has the lamp. Aladdin tries to sneak up on Jafar to steal back the lamp, but is caught. Jasmine comes up with a plan to distract Jafar by pretending to be in love with him. While Jafar is distracted, Aladdin fights him and is eventually able to trick him into using his third wish to become a genie. However, Aladdin reminds Jafar that being a genie means being trapped in a lamp and serving whoever holds it. Jafar is then trapped in a new lamp created by his wish. Aladdin saves Jasmine from a dangerous situation and they all live happily ever after. After defeating Jafar, Genie takes the lamp and tosses it into a far-off cave. He then offers Aladdin one final wish. Aladdin, realizing how much he values Genie's friendship, wishes for Genie's freedom instead of wishing to become a prince again. The lamp becomes inactive and Genie is finally free. Overjoyed, he decides to travel the world. The Sultan, impressed by Aladdin's bravery and love for his daughter, allows Aladdin to marry Jasmine and become the future king. Abu is transformed back into his original monkey form and Genie bids a heartfelt farewell before departing. Aladdin and Jasmine fly off into the sunset on the magic carpet, which turns into an image of Genie's face in the sky. Hey everyone, have you seen Aladdin? Let us know your thoughts on the movie in the comments. Also, if you enjoy epic and emotional stories, don't forget to follow us here on the channel. Until next time. TheBotDog Reviews, your ultimate destination for movie reviews and more. Leave your like, subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss new videos.